Alright, so from the previous video here, we got our page set up. Now, this is going to be a video, a demonstration on how to lay out your orthographic views onto this sheet. Now, before this particular steps, to begin to lay out your views, you want to make sure that you have your part open. Now, there are different ways to lay out your view. I'm going to show you the conventional way of laying out your view using SolidWorks. So from your drawing, what you're going to do is in the drawing tab here on your command, or excuse me, your property managers or command managers, what you want to do is select model view. And it's going to give you a list of all the parts that are open in SolidWorks. Now you just want to select the part that you are creating a drawing on. In this case, the part that was made here from Dave's video is ENGT 111 SolidWorks part. I'm going to go ahead and select that by double clicking. Now notice how your property manager here has changed, and if I were to move my cursor, you'll see this box. Now this is the actual view, and you are now able to place that view anywhere. Now notice that this is your isometric view, but we don't want an isometric view yet. So we want a front view of the part, or excuse me, a primary view. So the primary view for this particular part, we are going to choose the top view. So notice on the left hand side here, you have these view options. In this case, considering that the part was built on the XY plane, the front view right here is going to be the part laying down on the XY plane. But we want to choose the primary view with the most detail. And that would be the top view of the part. So this would be your top, this would be your front here. On these options, this would be a bottom view, and then you have your right view and left view. Now again, we want to choose our top view, and we're going to go ahead and select OK. Now with the top view, we want to make sure that we have all our orthographic views in place. So to add the other projected views on here, under the same drawing tab, notice how there are more tools available to use now. What we're going to want to use is projected view. And we're going to select the view that we placed. And once I select it, if I move my cursor up, it's automatically going to recognize that I want a top view from this primary view. And if I were to move it to the right, it's automatically going to know that it's going to be a right view from this primary view that you chose. So we're going to place that top, and we're also going to place this right view. All right. So now we have all three orthographic views. Now these views are to scale because it is 1:1, but we have a couple options here. We could either make our sheet bigger, or we could scale this down smaller to make it fit within a drawing, because we're also going to have dimensions in here too. So to change the scale on a view, just select the view. Now notice that there are dashed lines around the view that you selected. Now that doesn't mean that it's activated. If you double click on that view, that dashed line, notice how the corners are solid. Solid corners or solid line corners means that this is the active view that you selected. So from that active view that you selected, on the left hand side here you have options, and right here in the middle of this pane here under scale, we are going to use a custom scale, and we are going to change this. We're going to make it half scale, so 1/2 scale. Now since these are orthographic views and they're all tied with each other, if I scale one view, it's automatically going to scale the other views as well. All right. Now I'm just going to quickly show you how to do it another way, and how to lay out views here without using projected views. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these views. I'm just going to select the view, and I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to hit yes, and I'm going to select that view. I'm going to hit delete and say yes. So let's say we're starting another new drawing here. We have our page set up. On the right hand side here in SolidWorks, you have 5 tabs. One of the tabs here, fourth from the bottom, or excuse me, from the top, you have a view palette. If you select that, it's going to open up these different views available for you to use. Now notice how it says top, back, front. We want to do the top view as our primary view. We're going to drag it onto the drawing, and we're going to place it. And from there, it automatically knows that you're going to need orthographic views. So after I set it, if I just move my mouse, it automatically knows that I want to make the other projected views. Alright, so I have my top and my right view. I'm going to hit cancel, and I'm just going to change the scale on this view. Alright, and that's it. So this is a video on how to lay out views using SolidWorks. Whoop, forgot one thing here. So we have our primary, we have our top right principal views, and we're actually going to need an isometric view as well. So to add an isometric view, you could do it one of either of the 2 ways that I showed you. You could either go to model view under the drawing tab on the left hand corner up here, double click on the part, and on your orientation options here of the different views, this upper right hand option, if you put your mouse over it, it tells you what view it is. This is your isometric view, and you can place it there, or you can use your view palette and also select isometric view, drag it on to the screen, or excuse me, to the drawing, and there's your isometric view. Now this isometric view is huge, so we are actually going to change the scale on this as well. We're going to make this 1/2 scale. Alright, and notice your isometric view, it shows the hidden lines of the model. Now isometric views, we don't want the hidden lines to be shown. So under display style here on the left hand side, we are going to select hidden lines removed, and that will remove the hidden lines. Now if you had materials applied, you could also add the graphics on there as well, but for this particular exercise, let's just keep it, let's just select hidden lines removed, and yeah, that is set. So we can move this around. Let's place it right here by clicking on the border of the view and just dragging it on screen. We want to move this isometric view so it's not in the way of the rev block. So we're going to move it approximately right there. Alright, so this is a video on how to place views onto a drawing using SolidWorks. The next video here is going to be dimensioning.